what we're going to do now is we're going to do the live demo of internships.com, how to submit a job description to internships.com. So what you want to do, I'm going to give you a quick tour here, guys. It's a really great site. We've been working with them and talking to them over the last few months and finding out more about their site and more information. And some of you have had some questions about their site, and I'm going to address some of those as we go along through the demo. You can see that they are focused on, obviously, the interns, the employers, and educators. So they're really bringing everybody together in one central location. They have a lot of other things they're working on with the colleges and with larger employers, but this is a really good site for those of you who are in North America, in the U.S. specifically, to find interns. One question that I had, and I'll go ahead and address it now because I just spoke about the U.S. and North America. We have a couple of customers and people in our community that are abroad. We have one customer specifically who's in France and was interested in using internships.com, but notice that when you sign up for an account, it only allows you to sign up as with a U.S.-based address. So I contacted internships.com, our contacts over there, and they said, yes, in fact, right now our system will only allow U.S.-based locations, but there is a workaround for those of you who are not based in the U.S. who would like to recruit interns from internships.com and American-based interns. And I will show you that as we move forward. And basically what you're going to do is you're just going to pick a random city in the U.S. and enter that into your profile and then mark virtual internship when you submit your job description. So I'll show you that, but just as before we jump in, I did want to address that concern that some people had. You'll see they have other resources here that you can use to help you get started submitting your job description. They have tons of information for employers, you know, similar to some of the things that we offer you guys. We've been working with them to improve some of the things. So what we're going to do is just move straight forward in getting Ms. Alves signed up as an employer. So you can see you can sign up here for free, or if you clicked on the employer tab, you can click in and sign up. So what we're going to do is Jane and I work together, so I had all her information, and we're going to get her signed up. So it's Jane Alves, and her company is Jane Alves Group. So that there, and that's our required field. And everything that you see here with a star is required field. And Jane, you're the CEO, is that correct?
Yes, Connie and I, we are.
Okay, and I believe, Jane, your partner Connie is on the line is with us as well, right?
Yes.
Hi, Connie. Great. So next, we need a street address because they want to know where your company is located. If, for example, you were going to have an on-site intern, this would be incredibly important. But just to know that you have a business and location. And as you can see, for those of our international employers, you don't have to have the street address filled in here. You can just enter a zip code. So you could pick, you know, somewhere in New York City or one of the bigger cities in the U.S. and enter that as a workaround for those who would like to submit to internships.com and get U.S.-based interns, but cannot, but has a business address abroad. So that is where you would do the workaround if you are international. So I'm going to enter the rest of her address and then Jane's email. Okay, and then obviously a phone number. Now they have decided that Connie's going to take any phone calls that might come in from their job posting, and she's going to actually be doing the interviews. So we have Connie's cell phone here, and then we had to create a password. And obviously Jane and Connie, you'll want to go in and probably change this because we're going to be, this is going to be on the internet. So in order to protect your privacy, we'll put that in there. And you guys do not currently have an internship program, so we won't check that. Well, you do. You're setting it up today, so let's go ahead and check that. Do you want to get monthly email updates from internships.com?
Yes.
Okay. And obviously, you have to read and agree to the terms of use. We'll just open those quickly. And it's pretty standard information. And Connie and Jane, you guys have decided you're going to do this, so I'm going to, if you don't check that, you won't obviously be able to register. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the second phase of the registration. And see, here I've entered the phone number. They want it with dashes. So we'll go back and check that, fix that formatting issue, and see if we can move on to the next page. Okay, going to have, let's see if this works. Okay, internships.com, you got to work with me today. Let's try this.
Just hit tab. No, that was right. Just hit tab.
Okay, give me your phone number quickly. I'll just type it
714
in.
553
Okay.
9146.
9146.
Hit tab.
There we go. We got it. We should be able to move on now. Great. So now we're on to the next section. So let's go ahead and we're going to post our internship because we're ready to do that. So let's get started. Now what they're going to do is ask for a little more company information so that if an intern wants to learn more about your company, they can click into your profile and learn more. So your company size is 1 to 10. I believe you guys, we talked, you have a lot of contractors. Is that accurate, 1 to 10 employees?
Yes.
Okay. And your sector is for-profit. Your industry.
Yeah, a lot of money.
And it auto-populated your address, obviously. And your industry is real estate. They're commercial real estate investors. And you can select more than one industry. I think probably for this purpose you would just select one because I don't see anything else that might match. But for instance, for us, when we're doing recruitment for our company, Efficient Enterprises, we might check management, human resources, because we are handling consulting. We have a couple industries that we work in for our company, but for the purposes of this demo and for Jane and Connie, it's real estate investing, property management. So they sent over a logo. You definitely want to, this is for any site that you use, whether it's social media or one of the recruitment sites to get your interns from. You always want to fill out your profile as much as possible. It can only help you the more you fill out your profile. So you definitely want to fill out your profile. So what we're going to do is find their logo that they sent over to me. And we're going to upload that. Okay, so we're ready. They've now taken us on to actually post an internship. Now they have sample positions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click in that so you can see that. And you can see that they have some sample positions already pre-filled for you. So obviously social media is a great one that a lot of our customers use. But you can see you can use some of their auto-populated positions. But for the purposes of this demo, I just wanted to show you this. We're not going to use this because we actually created one with Jane and Connie specific to their needs. So we already have the position and job description written. Many of you are members of our Intern Profit system, and we have over 15 job descriptions that you can copy and paste and use to your to create your own job descriptions for your own company. But it's everything from social media interns to research and writing interns to affiliate marketing interns. So we have loads of resources and job descriptions for you that you can also use with it from the Intern Profit system. So let's move on to Jane and Connie's description. Their title is they want to get a social media intern in commercial real estate. So we're going to go back and put that in for their title. And you want the title to obviously be specific to the type of intern that you want. Obviously, social media intern is really hot right now. You'll probably get a ton of resumes for that. So you definitely want that in your title, and then the type of company that you are. So for us, it would be social media intern, entrepreneurial company, or something that's going to describe the type of company that you have and catch someone's eye. So we've now created a description. We need to go and find our description, and here it says it's an overview of the company and the intern position, giving the big picture: what, where, when, why, etc. So we did that. We put together a description for them. We wanted a little catchy beginning. Are you looking for an exciting social media internship, working for an entrepreneur in commercial real estate? And then we gave a little information about the internship, interested in working virtually, setting your own hours, helping to promote real estate investment company that provides turnkey investment solutions, including raising capital, property assessment, acquisitions, and resale. So that was sort of, you know, what their company does and the type of work that the intern is going to be doing. A really short description. And then obviously we go on to talk about the position a bit more. It's a social media intern. It's unpaid. It's virtual. So we have a nice, clean job description there, and we're going to just post that. And I would recommend you, obviously, you could go in here and just type this up as you go, but it's always a good idea to get your thoughts together and put it all in maybe in a Word document or Notepad or something before you start submitting. I would highly recommend that. And obviously, you have some of the job descriptions in the Intern Profit System that you can use as well, where it's literally copy and paste and customize it for your specific business. So the next thing that you need to include are requirements. Now, you'll notice on here that not everything is required. Just the title and description is required. But again, you want to fill this out as fully as possible so that you give the intern as much information about the opportunity so that you'll get the most candidates applying. So you don't want them to have questions and wonder, well, what do I need to, what are my responsibilities, what are the requirements? You want to make sure you outline that clearly in the job description and posting that you're doing. So the responsibilities, let's go back to requirements. Sorry about that. We're all training guys, so we have to just go along with me here. The requirements, interns applying for the internship should be public relations, marketing, business, or journalism, news media, and communication majors. So we've laid out some of the requirements. Obviously, if it's social media, they need to be comfortable on the internet and understand social media. So almost every single student out there will be comfortable doing that. So you'll probably get lots of resumes for this. And then just some information about the requirements, including where to send the resume and what, if you want a cover letter, what to include in the cover letter. And if you've followed any of the information that we provide in our system, we always include what we call a test in our job description. And the test is basically something that the intern must do when they send us their resume back, the first step test. And so for us, it's a cover letter. If we get resumes with no cover letter, specifically telling us things like, when can you start? How long would you like to intern? How many hours a week can you dedicate to your internship? Are you seeking credit? If they don't send that to us, then that's a really good way to eliminate some candidates from the get-go. They obviously can't follow directions. They didn't really read the job description. So that's something that we always include, and we encourage you guys to include that to help you weed out some candidates along the way. So let's go ahead and put our requirements in. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the responsibilities. So what the responsibilities of Jane and Connie's social media intern will include: maintaining, building, and promoting their profiles for Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and all other social networking sites as deemed appropriate. So they leave it open that obviously the intern will be working on the obvious: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, but there may be new things that come up in the social media realm. There'll be tying the social media messages together. So making sure that your responsibilities also include some other things that could come up along the way in the internship. So there you have it. As I told you, you're only required for the title and description, but obviously you want to fill this out as much as possible in order to be as successful in getting as many candidates as possible, because you want to give them as much information. So let's save and continue, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay. So this is really important. Going back to those who said, I want to post to internships.com, but I don't live in the U.S. I don't have a U.S. address. So here's where it would say whatever city you've picked as the workaround. So for this, it would be Santa Ana. And then the way you could get a virtual intern is you click here, virtual. And that's a workaround for those of you who are not in the U.S. but want to use internships.com. And then you can recruit virtual interns. So Jane and Connie have decided that they want a virtual intern, so I'm going to check virtual intern. Their intern, it's part-time, right, ladies?
Yes.
And it's going to be unpaid. College credit required. Now this one, a lot of people ask, what the heck is that? So what it is hold on, it's the pop here. It says, click here if students must obtain college credit to be eligible for this internship. Now, the reason they have that is there are actually a lot of businesses out there, a lot of large businesses who will only take students seeking credit as an intern. And that's for a host of different reasons. One of them is because of some of the unpaid internship rules that have been, the Department of Labor has been talking about. The others have different reasons for doing that. You're going to open yourself up to a ton of more interns if you do not check this box. So we like when we get interns that are seeking college credit because there's obviously something else. They've got more skin in the game because they are being graded by me, the employer. They will not graduate unless they perform well on the internship. So a lot of people only want those types of students. But I will tell you that I personally wouldn't limit myself to just those students. There's a ton of people out there looking for internships, and a lot of them are on internships.com. Specifically, a lot of students who have now graduated and they don't have a real job yet. They're waiting tables, they're working at Starbucks because the economy isn't really providing a lot of job opportunities for a lot of these students. So they're out there trying to find internships. We've hired several interns over the last 2 years who have graduated from college, couldn't get a job in their chosen field. Specifically, we now have had 2 in PR, and the reason is that they can't get a job without experience. Public relations specifically is very, very difficult unless you have some experience on your resume. So I would suggest don't limit yourself just to the college credit required. It does give you a little bit more assurance that the student has a little more teeth in the game because they have to get college credit, but also on the flip side, they're probably only going to work for you for the semester that they're getting the college credit, so 4 months. Quite often, we get interns that will work 6, 8 months when they're not getting college credit. So Jane and Connie and I talked about this, so we're not going to check that box because they want to be open to as many interns as possible to apply for this. So they have, I think you guys, we talked about, Connie and Jane, 1 social media intern is what you're looking for. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And the start date, what I like to do on this is a little, I would say almost arbitrary, but I like to have the start date as soon as possible, and so we're submitting today, so we'll have the start date. I think you guys could take somebody by next Monday, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So start date next Monday. I like to check flexible and available year-round. Oh, well, and that must be new. Available year-round allows you to get interns coming in year-round. So we like to do that because we're always recruiting new interns. And if you've listened to anything that we talk about in our system, is that you always want to have a new batch of interns lined up to come in. So we always check available year-round. That way we're getting interns all the time. But let's just say that you had a specific project, you have a product launch coming up and you need a PR intern to help you promote that. Then you obviously would have a start date. You would know that the intern needs to work for 3 to 6 months to help you launch your product. And you would definitely have a deadline. If you don't get your resumes by next Wednesday, the product launches the following Wednesday, so it's useless for someone to apply. So that would be a case where you would obviously want to put in your start date, the duration, and the deadline. For me personally, I did do one like that because we're writing a book and I needed someone to start immediately, and so I did have a deadline. But Jane and Connie, I think we are going to do the available year-round, correct? Because you want to have the opportunity to have more interns come in. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes.
Okay. And the last thing that they ask you here is this LULAC, or L-U-L-A-C. And what this is they've partnered with the League of United Latin American Citizens. So if you're part of that, you can check that box. And it's just helping to recruit more Hispanic students. So you're not part of LULAC, so we're just going to save and publish and move on. And you have published your social media intern, commercial real estate investing firm. You now have a profile on internships.com. And what I'd like to do now is just show you a little bit what it looks like on the back office. So you have posted your internship. So let's go have a look at your internship posting. So this is what it looks like to the intern that's looking for an internship. So they may have gone in and you can see from the intern's perspective what they're looking for. They're looking for, you can hit social media. This would pop up. They wanted something in Santa Ana, so your internship popped up. And then they can search by search radius, a specific company that they might be wanting to work for, employer types. They might want to work for a nonprofit, so obviously yours wouldn't show up because you've registered as a for-profit. They might want to be paid, so they'll search for paid. And they might want a full-time position, so yours wouldn't have shown up. They might have wanted virtual. So I just wanted to show you, this is what the intern is typing in to find you. So you obviously want to make sure that you've filled out all those sections when you submit your job description. And then this is what your job description looks like from the intern's perspective. And here we go. Do you guys see anything that we need to change, Jane and Connie?
No, everything's fine.
Can we change something later?
Yes. So you guys now have your own login. When you go to internships.com, the login is up here, and you would just log in there. What will happen is when you get a new applicant, you will get an email. The email will go to Jane because we put Jane's email in there. And it will go to Jane, and she will get an email saying, you just got a new resume, log into the system to see it. And so you'll go and you'll log in, and when you log in, you're going to see something similar to that. So you're going to have an inbox, which will be the emails that you'll get saying you received an application from a student. You're going to have an opportunity to manage applicants and manage your internship. So obviously you've only posted one internship, but you may want to be, I know you guys want 2 other types of interns, so now once you enter your other internships, job descriptions will be in here. And you can obviously post a new internship. So that's everything from the user's perspective of submitting and what you'll see once you get in there. I'm actually going to log out, and I'm going to log in as myself so you guys can see a little bit more. You'll see where we've gotten candidates and how it works. I think that will be more effective. Okay, so you'll see this is our login for internships.com, so everyone can see how many resumes we've gotten, what it looks like when you get a resume. So see, this every time I get a new applicant, I get an email. So this is my inbox. So these are all the applicants we've gotten over the last, well, you can see over a year in here. There's a few people we've obviously hired. If you look out at our The Intern Profit site, you'll see that we've hired a few of these. Angelina's working for us now, and so is Amber. So you'll see that we get an email from somebody, okay? You can click into the email. Here is his cover letter. Here is his resume. A lot of them have links. They have their work samples. A lot of students now have their own website, so you can download the resume as well. I see it live here. You can print it. You can contact the candidate. Now this is another little bug that internships.com has and that you need to be aware of. So let's just say I wanted to interview Maurice here. So I could send him a message saying, please, I'm interested in interviewing you. Please let me know when you're available. And what I would suggest you do, and this is the second round of test for your candidates, because internships does not currently notify you when you get a new message. You only get a notification when you get a new applicant to apply for your internship position. So what I always do, and this is again, can they follow directions, is I say, I'm interested in interviewing you. Could you please send me an email at my email address, dreama@internprofits.com, or whatever business it is I'm hiring for. with the following information. And I asked them again, you understand this is an unpaid internship, that it's virtual, et cetera, et cetera. And then they send me an email to my work email address so I know I'm getting it, because otherwise I may forget to go in here and check for my emails and not know that the candidate has replied to me. So that's another little glitch that there is on internships.com. But again, the way to work around it and make sure that you're getting the information from your applicants is just to say, please email me at a different address. And it's also a way to do a little test to make sure you know they can follow directions. You can see I've sent several messages to these candidates that we've had over the last few months. So I contacted them and let them know we're interested, we're not interested. You'll also notice that, let me see if I can. Okay, so that's what you're going to see on the back office once you start getting candidates. And you'll see that we get candidates a couple a month. And I haven't uploaded a new job description in here in a while. So that's why we keep ours available year-round, because we like to get new candidates. You can see all of the internship job descriptions that we've put in. You know, it shows not a lot of views, but we've gotten a lot of applicants. So I don't know for sure if that's always accurate, but it's interesting stats. You can also, let's just say you have a job description that you just want to reuse and just change a few things. You can copy it and create it. You don't have to start from scratch. You can go in and edit it. Let's just say you realize that you unfortunately put the wrong phone number, the wrong website that you wanted someone to check out. So you can go in and edit your old ones. And then you can obviously go and see it live, what it looks like. So that's what ours looks like live. And then obviously, if you just want to close the internship, let's just say you filled the position, you don't want to hire anyone else for it, you can just close it out here. So that is the back office. And I logged in as our login because I wanted you to see the activity that we've had over the last year, and that what you can do with the candidates and how to contact them and the system around that. You can also go in and edit your company information if you need to make any changes. Obviously post a new internship. If you want to use internships.com to proactively search for interns, you can also do that. Now, I've never done this because we get so many applicants that I don't need to go out and specifically look for an intern in a specific area or a certain keyword major that they would be looking for. But if you want to do that, if you're interested in it, they have that available as well to the employer. So a lot of great stuff in here. As you can see, it's really, really easy to submit a job description to internships.com. It's free, so I would encourage you to utilize it as another source of finding interns. You all know that we love going straight to colleges and universities, but internships.com is a great opportunity to find a diverse group of people to hire for your interns. And we have hired several of these people in the past. So you'll see we've had lots of candidates. We've probably hired 2 currently working for us, and 3. We've hired 4 of these people. So, some good candidates, not so good, but, it's great to have another pool of candidates. So that really is our demo for internships.com.